Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Weekly Entertainment. This is the second part of the two-part interview with Turtle Girl Michele Ivey. This is we're gonna have a great time, and I'm really excited about this. Like I said in the previous show, if there was one guest I wanted to have on this show, it was her. And we had just a ton of fun with the first segment, and I hope you're ready for some more insight and interesting turtle trivia. So cowabunga and stay tuned. Okay, now it's time for, I want to take this moment. It's the new year. It's 2013. Of course, the world didn't end. The Mayan calendar was wrong. We did have a small apocalypse, I guess. We had, apparently the Mayan calendar was for Hostess. It was the end of Hostess. We had a Hostess apocalypse. But it was also a big year for movies. We went. I saw The Hobbit the other day. That was good, and so I guess you can call this my cheers and jeers for films. Okay, people ask me, what was your favorite movie of the year? Well, that's very easy. I have a copy of it right here. That would be Ridley Scott, Prometheus. Okay, this has to be one of the best hard sci-fi movies I've probably seen in decades. The acting with the special effects, the acting was, just absolutely wonderful. This is just a great movie, and I know it's panned by by a lot of the fans who wanted Predators or your chest bursting alien and that kind of junk. And this was just a really well thought, deep movie, and I loved it. I watched it. I probably watched it over a dozen times now. The worst movie to me of 2012 was very simple. I didn't even have to think of this. The Avengers, or we can call it, Transformers 4. It was this wooden characters, cardboard plot. It was the same plot as Transformers, Dark of the Moon. So, there was times when I was watching this where I was actually reaching for my controller because it was like watching a video game. So yeah, those are my cheers and jeers for 2012. Okay, Avengers definitely gets a jeer. You can send hate mail to my email address. But if anyone wants this copy, just shoot me an email. I'll mail it out to you. But okay, now on to the good stuff. Time for part 2 of my interview with Turtle Girl Michele Ivey. So stay tuned, grab a big bucket of buttered popcorn, and get ready to have a cowabunga good time. So time to party on, dudes. Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Weekly Entertainment. This is our part 2 in our 2-part interview with Turtle Girl Michele Ivey. So let's give her a big warm welcome once again. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we had you on the show last week, and we have you back in the studio for part 2 of our awesome interview.
Ooh, and talking turtles.
Yes. Well, briefly, tell us who you are and what you do again.
Okay.
For the people who are just tuning in for the first time today. So, for those who aren't keeping score, but...
my name is Michele Ivey. I am known worldwide as a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. I have been a fan since 1989, been backstage at the concerts, on the set of the TV show, been doing a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff. I even run my own blog.
Yes, why don't you tell us a bit about that, your blog, because that is really cool.
Okay. So. I started the blog in 2010 because I've been on a couple TV shows. And I have found that some TV shows know how to use editing skills to say lies about me. Like saying I eat pizza every day. It's a lie! So I had to come up with my own way of sharing my stories. Now, originally I was using message boards, but that doesn't really get out to a lot of people. In fact, my favorite message board is one of the most quiet ones I hang out on. So I needed to do something different, and an interview came in February 2010, and this lady came in. She was in and out of my house in less than a half hour and put out one of the best interviews I saw on TV of me. And I was like, she did that so easy. She just used her camera, got pictures of my collection, and did her interview, and bam, I could do this. So I filmed an interview, well, not an interview, but an episode where I'm just talking at the camera, and I'm thinking, well, I'll just do 1 or 2 of these. I'm not going to do a bunch of these. And a good friend of mine jumped up and said, hey, can I edit it? When she found out I was doing this. And I'm like, yeah, you can edit this. So I sent it to her, and she's like, what do you want for a name? Name? What? So I sent her a list of 3 names, and I don't even remember what the other 2 were, but Cowabunga Corner was one of the names I sent her, and that was sent back to me saying that's the name we're going to use. I'm like, okay. I wasn't expecting to name it. And then she sent me what she did, and I'm like, we should do more of these. So we started this, as I mentioned, in February 2010. We usually have a handful of reviews where I sit down and talk about different things in Ninja Turtles, trying to cover everything from the old stuff to the new stuff coming out from Nickelodeon right now. We'll talk about the behind the scenes of something or just a review of my favorite episodes. And then I also do every 5 episodes is old footage episodes. So I'll grab something like events, meeting Kevin Eastman or Peter Laird, or going to the conventions. Getting on the set of the TV show. If you watch episode 15, that's actual video footage from behind the scenes that my family took.
Oh, cool.
So every 15 is home video from an event.
You know, we've touched on this before, but is there footage of, you know, say when you were younger, like, or at the coming out of their shells tour, things like that, like in your old costumes and
I
doing
have pictures.
Appearances?
Oh, actually, video of me doing stuff in my turtle costume. Episode 10 is fantastic. Because that actually has video of right after my costume was made. We're showing it to a friend of ours.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's got me moving around in that. It's got actual video from birthday parties that we did in March 1991.
See, that's cool.
Stuff
like
first
that's cool.
Stuff. Yeah. So I actually do have that on there. And as I mentioned, old video footage, that's in there. Episode 10 is one of my favorite episodes I did in the early days. Sad thing was, season 1 and season 2, we had this 10-minute time limit with YouTube. So everything is like fast forward and squished down. Now, if I get something like that where I'm editing, I can actually span it to maybe 15, 20 minutes, even a half hour long.
Oh, wow.
Like episode 40 is the making of VH1's special that I was on called Totally Obsessed.
We're going to talk about that in a few minutes here.
And I actually have the full making of one of the days on Cowabunga Corner.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So my dad followed them around with a camera too.
And that's the website is cowabungacorner.com.
Yeah, cowabungacorner.com.
Which we'll put that up on the screen. Okay. And it's been pretty well received, I understand. You get a lot of hits and a lot of interest.
As of right now, our YouTube account has 1,300 subscribers.
Wow, that's
our
pretty good.
Videos will get anywhere between 100 to 800, even 1,500 views in their first week.
Wow.
So depending on what I'm doing. If I'm interviewing like one of the big people like Kevin Eastman, it will get a lot of hits.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But sadly, my favorite thing in the show is the interviews.
Okay.
And a lot of the people that I interview, I'm really excited they're on the show. I'm so excited to meet these people. Some of my main idols I've gotten to interview these are the people I learned how to walk in these costumes by watching them on the big screen.
Wow.
I learned how to do the voices by listening to them. And it's so sad that there are so many episodes where my reviews get more views than the interviews do.
Oh.
And I love the interviews more. Why do people want to look at me?
Well, you're a very interesting speaker. You're very, you're vibrant. You know a lot about the. Okay. So pay attention to that, folks. Well, watch all the videos, and it's really good stuff.
Don't skip over like Leif Tilden.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Exactly.
Leif Tilden wore the Donatello costume for Turtles 1 and Turtles 2. He also had some out of costume scenes too. And Leif's interview is so funny. And he talks about so many great things from behind the scenes, like trying to just drink a can of pop on the first day of filming was hilarious. And his way of describing it is great. Rob Paulson, obviously one of my main views.
Great voice actor. Yes. Excellent voice actor.
His name brought up, that got a lot of views right away.
Oh, yeah.
But Greg Sipes, who is now the new Michelangelo's on there. The storyboard artist. How many people actually get to talk to the artist behind the TV series? We have actual storyboard artists for the new Nickelodeon series interviewed on this page.
Oh, how cool is that?
So these interviews were up before the new show even came on TV.
That's right, folks. So you've seen it here first.
Yeah.
I mean, right here.
This is
Cowabungacorner.com.
all good stuff. besides from my reviews. And that's when I'm like, why are you watching these more? These people actually know stuff.
Now tell us a little bit about, we're going to go back a little bit to the VH1 special, because I'm sure a lot of people were introduced to you by that.
Yeah.
And I'll turn the floor over to you now.
Okay. VH1, in 2004, February, a friend of mine called me up and said, hey, there's this TV show looking for collectors. And first person I thought about was you. And so she threw me the contact information, and I sent in the stuff because, well, I really, really do respect this friend. She's actually works in the industry. So because of who the friend was that suggested it, I went ahead with it. And she didn't do her research. No one knew what the show was. We didn't even get a title for the show until after they got to my house.
Oh,
and
wow.
They didn't come over till they got to my house on June 5th. So went from February to June with phone interviews, sending in video footages, pictures of my collection. And I'm thinking it's going to be a serious interview. The way they were talking, it was going to be a serious interview. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking they're going to want videos of my birthday party days. They're going to want pictures of me with Eastman and Laird. They're going to want to actually see the real stuff. And they came in. They did a 3-hour interview of me sitting on my couch. And my back was just so sore by the end of that interview. They got me to do things that I did not agree to do. Like, I don't sing. I really do not sing. And I was trying to remember the words to Follow Your Heart. And,
which was from the Coming Out of the Shells tour.
Yes, the Coming Out of the Shells tour. And I wanted to remember the words because I wanted to do some comparisons of why that song meant something to me. So I would sing a verse, and I told them not to use any of the singing. And then I would say that verse out loud and say why that verse actually meant something to me. Mm-hmm. And they used only the singing.
And people can see this video, I'm sure, on YouTube or whatnot.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, the world's largest Ninja Turtle fan, I think it's called.
Okay. They basically made you look like a crackpot.
They wanted to make it look like I'm trying to become a real Ninja Turtle.
Right, you eat pizza every single day.
Yes,
which it's
I live
not
on
true,
a steady
is it?
diet pizza. No.
You are a pizza connoisseur, though, like me. I mean,
I love pizza, but here's the thing about the foods I love. I don't want to eat too much of it. I will have pizza maybe 3 to 4 times a month. And unless I'm on a trip where I'm doing like events where I need something fast to eat.
Right, where it's fast, yeah, it's there, it's available.
But if I'm home, I don't have pizza that much because I want to still enjoy it. And if you get foods that you eat all the time, you get sick of it. And I don't want to do that to pizza.
I eat pizza 3 times a week. You eat it 3 times a month. I eat it about 3 times a week, and I haven't
love
gotten
pizza.
sick of it. Yeah, me too. What's your favorite kind? Just to throw that out there.
Okay, my favorite kind is the Hawaiian. My second favorite is the BLT.
Tell us about the BLT. Because I've seen this before, but I'm going to let her describe this.
The BLT is basically, on some pizza places, they leave the tomato sauce on because, face it, tomato. It is basically a pizza with mayonnaise, bacon, and lettuce, and tomatoes put on it. And the first place that I got it, I was in 3rd grade before Ninja Turtles was even in my life. And I, at first, thought it was the most disgusting thing. And then I tried a piece, and one small piece of that BLT pizza made me a lover of it.
Fan for life.
And so I was making it my own at home, and that company closed its doors, and I didn't know that other places had it. Mm-hmm. And then I found it now at Pizza Connection.
Green Lantern has it?
Yeah, the Green Lantern
Ferndale?
has
in Ferndale? Because we've actually eaten there once.
Pizza Connection? No, it's not in Ferndale. It's in Hazel Park.
The Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, I believe that's Madison Heights.
Okay, which has nothing to do with the comic book Green Lantern, or does it?
No,
Okay,
no.
So.
But they have excellent pizza.
They do.
And I highly recommend
breadsticks.
their breadsticks, their lantern bread, and their BLT pizza.
We could talk pizza for a half an hour here. Okay, let's move right along.
Okay.
But basically, you're not what they made you out to be.
No.
I mean, you're not. You don't eat pizza. You don't want to be a Ninja Turtle, do you?
No, I wouldn't mind wearing the costumes or doing voices, but I do not want to turn my skin green. I do not want 3 fingers.
Right. But I mean, you do. I mean, you do know the mannerisms of each individual turtle too, correct?
Yes.
I mean, you do know all these things. But I mean, I can kind of see where somebody would think you're, a fanatic of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But then again, people could say the same thing about me with Star Trek.
Now, the fact is, and this is a fact that a lot of
yeah.
people ignore, everyone's obsessed with something.
Absolutely.
Be it OCD, be it into comic books, be it foods, be it, everyone's got their nick. Everyone's got something they're into. And so when you turn around and go, oh, that person's too much into that, look at yourself and go, do you collect coins? Do you collect stamps?
Exactly.
Are you
exactly.
a total always cleaning your house? Are you into cleaning?
Some people are obsessed with their cars. Some people are,
Oh, sports.
Sports.
And
absolutely
fans are accepted.
Yeah,
But they're
that's
the same
accepted in
thing
this
as-
society.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
the same thing as a comic book fan.
You actually nailed it right there. The people who wear the jerseys, the hats
Paint
and all
their
that stuff. Yeah,
faces
paint their
up.
faces. Exactly.
But they're cool people.
But that's accepted.
It's what they enjoy
Right.
doing, and they're accepted. In fact, they're cherished by the fandom.
Yes.
The news always shows them when they're coming into the sports things, and they talk highly of these fans. But when it comes to a fan of movies, cartoons, or comic books, they're like, oh, that's kid stuff.
Right. We're geeks. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
nerds.
and so no, obsession or even being a fan of anything, as long as you put your family, your bills, your health, and your friends and your pets, your real life, your work before your fandom, then you're not doing anything wrong.
Absolutely
And
good.
That's something people don't understand. I put all that before my fandom. Though I have a huge collection, I travel across the country constantly. I'm always going to events. I'm always talking turtles with people, but I also enjoy music. My favorite band is the Monkees. I enjoy other TV shows. Right now I'm into ABC's Once Upon a Time.
There you go.
So I also like Dexter. So there's several different things about me that you don't see on my website too much. Actually, on the website, more than the YouTube channel, you'll find out more about me because I'll write about my friends. I'll write about my bully experiences.
That's great.
I
think
share
that's
my
great.
real life there.
So it shows that you're much more than just the Ninja Turtles collection. People say the same thing about me. You could call me a fanatic like this. This right here. Okay, these were worn by William Shatner in his movie Free Enterprise. I paid $3,000 for this. Does that make me a geek, a fanatic? I used to have that kind of money, but. It's just like you said, as long as your fandom, and my whole house is full of Enterprise. I have Enterprise in every room. I have, every single Star Trek episode.
He already taught me on something.
What?
You just spent more on one item than I've spent on any of my one items.
Which we're going to go into right now. Okay, you brought some stuff, which
Yes,
that was
I did.
actually a really good segue. Now that we're in our final. Show us what you got here.
This right here is an actual ooze canister used in Teenage Mutant Ninja
That
Turtles
is
2,
cool.
The Secret of the Ooze.
That is really cool.
That
was the one with Vanilla Ice, right?
Yes, that
Ninja
was.
Rap.
That was Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Yep.
Yes, this is an actual ooze canister. It's one of the very first props I got, along with the TGRI jumpsuit, which is actually used in that movie too. But what I'd really like to show is right over here.
Okay.
I do a lot of different events and stuff, and one of the things I'm doing for Cowabunga Corner is meeting people and getting interviews. Well, I was thrilled, and I mean just ecstatic when I found out that some of the actors from Turtles 2 would do interviews with me. And I had one actor help me get a hold of like 3 other actors. And one of the people they got me in touch with was a guy named Kurt Bryant, who wore the Toka costume for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. And this is Toka for anyone who forgot who he is. He is a snapping turtle. Instead of Bebop and Rocksteady, they had Toka and Razar. And when Kurt called me up, he called me up and said, well, I actually still have something from the movie, and I'd like to give it to you.
Oh, cool.
My jaw hit the ground. And so when we showed up for the interview, he gave me this piece right here, which is actually Toka's hand from Ninja Turtles 2. It is very worn, as you can see, but he kept it in a plastic bag in his garage for 20 years.
Wow.
So it's got its reasons to be worn. Foam latex is not something that will last forever.
Sure.
The skeleton in this thing will last for a very long time, but the foam itself, I'm lucky to have some on here. There is a grip handbar inside the palm, which is what you grab onto if you put the actual hand on.
And it retracts the fingers
Yeah,
and whatnot?
but I can't use any of that stuff.
yeah.
But everything is right in here still to where it is Toka's hand.
Oh, that is really
So
cool.
there's a wrist brace that's wrapped around there. I actually got Kevin Eastman to sign that. And Kevin is the creator of Ninja Turtles, for anyone who did not know that. He is a wonderful guy. I've known Kevin since '92, but he was shocked to see me with this. And for the people who don't know, Ninja Turtles 2 was one of Jim Henson's last projects.
Oh, really?
It was November 1990 when he passed away, and they were in the middle of production of this movie. And according to several of the magazines that I've read up on Turtles 2, the Jim Henson's Creature Shop thanks that movie for helping hold them together during the loss of Jim Henson.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's a neat little bit of trivia there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of their work, and to actually have a Henson prop. This is my very first actual Henson foam latex prop.
Wow. You actually have some of the heads too, don't you?
Yes, I own heads, but my heads are from Ninja Turtles 3,
okay,
which is done by a different company called All Effects.
Okay, that was Turtles Through Time, correct?
Yeah, well, they took the title off there, but yeah, that was going to be one of the titles. It was also Turtles Feudal Japan.
Oh,
They had several different names bouncing around for a little bit, but Turtles 3, the reason they did this was because they wanted to lower the price and on the costumes. And so they went to All Effects and said, if you guys can go into this bidding war against Henson to get the prices dropped, we will consider you if you actually get a lower price than Henson. And they did get the lower price, so we lost not just Henson's Creature Shop, but several of the returning actors who were worked on the earlier films.
The turtles really didn't look the same either for that movie.
I called them the Frog Turtles.
Yeah, they did. They looked like frogs.
And Splinter looked like a dog.
Yeah,
But the movie, to me, has a better storyline than Turtles 2.
Sure.
So you got and you lost.
Well, Turtles 2, if I remember correctly, that had Baxter Stockman?
No, Professor Jordan Perry. Baxter Stockman never made a movie.
That's right. Okay, I kind of probably had it mixed up.
TGRI, which is TCRI inside the cartoons and comic books. TGRI scientist was Professor Jordan Perry, played by David Warner, who is known for movies like The Titanic. He did a great job at being the scientist in there.
Oh,
when I first saw a picture, I thought for sure it was going to be Baxter.
Yeah,
but no. But the movie had a director who decided to take the turtles' weapons away. And they also wanted them to put the comedy up, so they made it lighter and they put more comedy in there. And they let the turtles' weapons appear on screen, but you don't get to see any of the turtles using their weapon in a fight besides for Donatello. And Turtles 3, they gave the turtles their weapon back, but the turtles looked... And don't think I'm totally ditching those costumes, because I paid $2,000 for Michelangelo's head. Now, if you saw that movie before you saw Jim Henson's costumes, before the Henson's Creature Shop ever made a costume, and if you saw Turtles 3, people would have accepted those costumes. But because we were spoiled rotten, by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, it's a lot harder to accept Turtles 3, and there's so many people who just ditch it instead of giving it a chance.
That's definitely worth checking out. And also the animated movie too. That came out after Turtles 3. The
CGI
TMNT
film.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. You didn't think so?
I think they had a great animation footage.
Yeah, the animation was fantastic.
The animation was beautiful, but I wish they did not take some of the characters out of character to push their own little side plot along. It seemed like the side plot, which was Raph and Leo fighting, became the main plot of the movie. Everything with the monsters just seemed buried. The turtles had no reason to be there for the fight.
I see something else you got there, the cat figure. What's that?
Yes. His name is Scratch.
Okay.
And Scratch is one of the rarest Ninja Turtle toys to ever come out.
Of course you have him.
Of course. Back in the 1990s, he was 150 out of package and over 300 in package. I do not know his current value, but
probably a lot more.
Just not enough of these were made, and he went on high demand very fast. There's a lot of detail in him. His fur's all in there and everything. He was designed by a guy named Ryan Brown. In fact, his initials are right here on his foot because he couldn't find a place to autograph it, so he just initialed his
cool.
feet. So, and Ryan has worked on the Mirage Comics and the Archie
Okay.
Ninja Turtles, and he's been around for a long time.
So you have every, I mean, I don't even need to say this, but you probably have every Ninja Turtle figure that was created, correct?
No,
No, really?
not correct.
Okay.
I have a lot of them. I have over 300 out of in package. Yeah,
Wow.
over 300 in package, over 500 out of package. But that was counted in 1999. That's not
Okay.
including all of my turtle figures for the 2003 series, the
Oh, okay.
2007
'Cause
movie.
I'm thinking just the Playmates ones.
Yeah, I'm talking to Playmate.
Oh, Playmate!
ones.
Wow.
Yeah, Playmate started in 1988.
Yeah.
Their
that
toys
sounds
started
about
to come
right.
out.
So I had
and-
all of them too. Krang was my favorite.
Oh,
I
Krang's
love
amazing.
Krang. He's great.
And I wish that I think the toy could have been done a little bit different, and that goes for the new Krang too. But
In our waning moments of the show, this goes by so fast. We definitely we need to have you back.
Okay.
You've been an awesome guest. Give us real quick the different Ninja Turtles and their mannerisms, if you could.
yo, dudes, do that! I'm the cool dude, Michelangelo. I'm the turtle that you usually see me do. Ha! So, hey guys, I'm Donatello, and I'm more of the relaxed turtle. I hang out with Mikey a lot, but I like to do my techno geeky things. Yo, I'm Raphael, and I'm the attitude turtle. I'm the one who's got a bit more of a stiff. I'm gonna go and hit somebody in the face. And Leonardo is the mellow turtle who is out there to learn how to hone himself for the practices of ninjutsu and just being Master Splinter's favorite student.
That was excellent. Thank you so much. Well, this is our last minute, and again, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, and we'll definitely have you back in the future. Anytime you want something to promote, just we'd love to have you back.
Just let me know when to come back.
All right. If you're not out at a convention somewhere, because you do a lot of conventions, just real quick, how many conventions a year do you do?
Anywhere between 6 to 13 conventions a year.
And that's all over the U.S.
Yes, all over the U.S.
So if someone's going to one of the bigger shows, they can probably find you there, right?
New York City Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con just about yearly.
Awesome. So if they want to come up and say hi, they're more than welcome
And
to.
for Michiganders, Youmacon.
Okay.
Youmacon,
Motor
awesome.
City too. Are you going to be there?
I do go to Motor City, but I'm not there as much.
Okay. So Youmacon.
Youmacon
Okay.
and Halloween weekend
All
in
right.
Detroit.
All right. Well, folks, that's all the time we have today. We'd like to thank Michele Ivey. I can't thank her enough. This is actually my favorite show. I've wanted her since the beginning, and I can't thank you enough. Thanks again.
Well, thanks for
and
having me.
cowabungacorner.com. Be sure to check it out, and join us again for another weekly entertainment. Good night.